Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am your host, Chris Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode 95 of the A15 Exchange. And well, the time is, looking at my laptop right now, 10:14 p.m. on a Sunday. And, we got to get it by any means necessary, all right? This is a very, very, very late film, and it's going to be a very, very late edit. I'm going to be very, very busy tomorrow, I believe. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to film it tomorrow morning, so we're just going to film it today. We filmed Sunday last week, so like I said, we're getting these episodes out for the people, all right? For the people, no matter what, for the people. And I was supposed to get back later. If you know what's going on in the Coke 600, then you know why. But we're here now, and it is what it is. Game 7 is going on, so we will literally this will be a live reaction in some ways to Game 7 between the Celtics and the Heat. That's going on right now as I'm filming it. So is the Coke 600. There's so many things going on. But we're here. All right, 10:15 now. Welcome back to A15 Exchange. I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. You guys have been going crazy. Had a very good week last week, all right? Had a very, very good week. Let's keep the momentum going. What else? Honestly, I think that about covers it. Y'all know the deal. Everything you're looking for is in the description. So, if you're looking to skip ahead to, I don't know, that NBA segment, all right? You really want to hear me talk about the Warriors and Luka, or you want to hear me talk about what I thought about the Celtics and the Heat in that series, feel free, skip ahead. Also, TV music, we actually have an entertainment segment this week, so plenty to talk about there. If you want to skip ahead, that's in the description, as well as all of my social media. So, Instagram, if you want to see me at the race. I posted a little bit on IG, though the service was a little shoddy, so that came out how it came out. Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it is, feel free to follow my social medias in the description or in the outro. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, you know it's that time. It's that time. I've been talking about a lot about the clock. But the time for the end of the soccer season has come. This Champions League final was yesterday, because it's Sunday. They were trying to film this. 2 days in which you probably will see it, because it'll be uploaded on Monday. Now, Real Madrid, Liverpool. I hyped it up. Hope for a classic. It was not a classic. All right, with all due respect, it wasn't a classic. Okay, I was at a pub and it wasn't a classic. It was memorable. I had fun. I was with my friends, of course, so I had fun. But it was by no means a classic Champions League tie, and I really feel like we haven't had one of those in a while. But nonetheless, Real Madrid, Liverpool. Don Carlo, he pulled it out. I didn't like the game plan in the first half. I really didn't. It wasn't good. Liverpool, by all means, won the first half, but was unable to finish. And they were unable to finish because of the man of the match. A man who has a rightful claim to best goalkeeper in the world after a performance like that, Thibaut Courtois, the Belgian Wall. Courtois was immense. All right, one of the greatest goalkeeping performances, potentially of all time. Certainly one in my all-time, at least I've seen. Because it was ridiculous. All right, it was ridiculous. He was saving everything. Mo Salah, I think, had 6 shots. Saved them all. I mean, completely vanquished. Any Ballon d'Or talk or best player in the world talk for Mo Salah is gone. Mane couldn't score. Firmino, when they brought him on, couldn't score. Diaz couldn't score. It did not matter. Courtois was everywhere in that goal. It was just there was just nobody that was going to score on him. In Real Madrid, listen, Trent Alexander-Arnold did not have a Trent Alexander-Arnold game. Oh boy. First half wasn't bad for Trent. Alright, it wasn't bad. Boy, that second half got rough. It got rough at some times. And he fell to Mark Vinny. And Vinny, who, by the way, now he's getting hyped to the ends because, first off, he had a great season. I mean, he had beyond a great season, honestly. He's one of the best young players in the world. Probably going to be one of the better players. I'm not going to say best player in the world. He'll be one of the better players in the world in the very, 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 very soon future. But he had a horrendous game. Okay, Vinny had a nightmare. Besides the goal, Vinny had a horrendous game. He couldn't finish to save his life. He looked like the Vinny of old, not the Vinny of new. He was near invisible in that first half, bar a couple moments. And besides that goal, he really didn't do much the entire game. But that goal mattered. But I got to give the credit not really to Vinny on that goal, but to Fede Valverde, because he had a masterclass of a game. Now, I wasn't sure putting him on the wing, rather than his normal midfield position. But it worked out. Valverde showed off his positional versatility and, of course, delivered that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pass to Vinny, which was, basically a tap-in, like I said. Past Alisson to give Real Madrid the lead and what would be the win. So, yeah, shout out to Fede. He was fantastic. And, yeah, just it's that Real Madrid mentality, man. They never broke. And when they got that goal, they shut it down. They shut it down. And it was like, again, it worked out for Carlo. It's why he is Don Carlo. It's why he has all those Champions League titles. It's why he is one of the greatest managers to ever live. It's why. They got that goal, and they turned it on. They was a whole different Real Madrid team, and yeah, the greatest club in the world showed why they were the greatest club in the world yet again on Saturday. Despite the delays, those shots, Camila, she put on a hell of a performance. But despite the delays, Real Madrid gets it done. Liverpool reeling. Salah, you said you wanted him. Y'all didn't want him. At least y'all didn't want Courtois, because again, he won that game. He carried. Carried. Benz didn't have a very remarkable game. Vinny was invisible besides the goal. Fede was great, and that midfield turned it on in the end, but Casemiro was great defensively, by the way. His pace was off. We had a couple lost balls, but defensively, tackling, he was on point, and classic Casemiro. But by all means, Courtois won them this game. All right, man of the match. If it had been anybody else, it would have been a robbery. He made a statement. Congratulations to Real Madrid. HALA Madrid, they get it done. Liverpool will walk alone without a trophy this season, but we'll see how they come. However, Sadio Mane looking like he might head into Bayern Munich, so we'll see what happens there. I feel like they got 50,000 wingers, though, so I don't know why it's happening, but Bayern does what Bayern wants. Combat sports. Gervonta Tank Davis took on Rolly Romero, and listen, I can't even give Tank. Listen, Tank did what Tank was supposed to do. And I said it was going to be faster than this. And it really, for what we say Tank is supposed to be, it should have been. Now, it's hard. It's hard. I don't believe fighters when they say, I'm going to knock somebody out in the first round. I don't believe that anymore. Because it's very, very hard to knock somebody out. It's very, very hard. But for what we say Tank is, he absolutely. Rolly fought way better than he had any means. In fact, he was up on one of the scorecards. He was way better than I anticipated and fought way better against Tank than I anticipated. However, he went to sleep. As expected, TKO'd round 6. Tank hit him with the shot, put him to sleep. It's what we expected. There's not really much to say, all right? Tank did what we expected him to do, not in the best fashion. It wasn't the best Tank Davis. It was certainly not the best version of Tank Davis I've seen. And maybe some credit goes to Rolly, but he did what he was supposed to do. Now, who's next? I would love to see him. Listen, I said it before. I'll say it again. Loma, if Loma wants to be at 135, or the winner of next week's matchup between George Ferocious Kambosos Jr. and Devin Haney for the undisputed crown. I think Tank's #1 contender. He holds, I don't know what that title is, but anyways, I guess it's like I don't know what type of, anyways. The undisputed fight for that division is there. I know he holds a belt, but whatever. Whoever wins Kambosos Haney is undisputed #1 guy. But Tank, I think, probably should fight the winner of that. And, we finally get the fights that we want. Ryan Garcia, I know he was there. Also, to be able to put 20K on Rolly Romero and not even think twice is either stupid or you're rich. Or maybe both. So, Ryan's got money. He's not really sweating the 20K, I guess. But, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Despite what I feel about Tank, I definitely would have done that. That would be a huge fight in terms of numbers, but I'm not sure Ryan is ready for that smoke. I would have him fight another contender, maybe an Isaac Cruz. You got to just prove it a little bit more. Prove it a little bit more. Before I send you to the Wolves, prove it a little bit more. Of course, Teo's still in limbo. We'll see if he goes up to 140. And of course, we got that fiasco at 140. But for now, Tank did what Tank was supposed to do. He got the win. And yeah, shuts up Rolly, I guess, for now. Though Rolly, honestly, he showed a little bit of talent. He's still young. Still very early in his career. As long as that chin isn't compromised, I think he'll be fine. Just got to keep developing. Will he ever reach the, four princes and, the rest of the elite? I don't know, but we'll see. Young Rolly Romero, we'll see what happens. He's a hell of a villain, but Tank had it as expected. Continuing on here. We're rolling. All right, we're rolling. We are rolling. No pun intended to Rolly Romero, but we are rolling. And we are going to roll right into, let's see. Would you like an entertainment segment, ladies and gentlemen? Top Gun Maverick came out this week, highly anticipated. Especially after the critics loved this movie 2 weeks ago when it debuted on Rotten Tomatoes and just everywhere else to review. Love this movie. It got raving reviews, had 100 on Rotten Tomatoes for quite some time before finally dropping and, regressing back down. But, the hype was at a maximum since 1986. Very long time for a sequel, but boy, oh boy, did they deliver. They delivered, okay? Top Gun Maverick delivered. It delivered. Tom Cruise, say what you want about personal life and his beliefs, but he is one of the greatest actors of all time. Certainly one of the greatest action actors of all time. Just one of the greatest actors of all time. Period. In the words of the city girls, period. The man is remarkable, and he put in a hell of a performance in Top Gun Maverick as Captain Pete Mitchell. That was just, it was a great movie. It was a great movie. And then oh my goodness, the flight scenes. I watched the 1986, the original, the OG Top Gun I watched the night before. To, just kind of recap and, refresh myself with the plot and what happened in the first movie. Oh my goodness. Not that they weren't, good for the time back in 1986, but my goodness. Go see this in the biggest movie. I know it's probably going to be expensive in IMAX or 4D, whatever it is. Go watch it, because the flight scenes in this movie were insane. And of course, spoiler alert on all this. That scene at the end where he comes back and does it in 214, that whole scene was one of my favorite scenes of the year. And possibly one of my favorite scenes, we'll see, depending on how this goes, in all of cinema. That was just, oh my goodness, what a scene. I know we give Miles Teller a lot of flack, but he held it down as Goose's son, Rooster. I like the new characters. They didn't do too much, but I still like them. Could have seen more of them, but the movie wasn't too long, wasn't too short. It was just right. Jennifer Connelly still got it as Penny, respectfully. But yeah, she was great. Her and Tom's chemistry was there, and of course Penny and Pete, or Mavericks. That was just, it was cute to see. It was cute to see Maverick happy, and yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. Go watch it. All right, go watch it. I didn't even spoil that much. So go watch Top Gun Maverick. I know it had a massive debut. It was a great movie. All right, it was a great movie. Now, Obi-Wan. I'm so sorry. I have not gotten to watch it. All right, I have not gotten to watching it. I heard the 2 episodes were great. I know Leia was in it. I know Baby Luke was in it. Obviously, he was in the trailer. I have not seen it. All right, I'm sorry. I haven't seen it. I know Hayden Christensen's back. I saw Vader was in listen, I haven't seen it. I heard it was great. You guys can let me know how you felt about Obi-Wan. I will try. I will absolutely try. Maybe if I get some free time in the next 2 days since I won't be at work, I will watch it. But until then, we will see. But yes, Obi-Wan, I heard it was great. All right, I heard it was great. Young Justice also came through. Shout out to Young Justice. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's head over to the NHL. I'm flying this. This is going to be one of the shortest podcasts. This is actually remarkable. We're getting content done, so I'm not complaining. Okay. We have a matchup I'm very excited about personally. Very, very excited about personally. The Edmonton Oilers took out the Calgary Flames 5-4, I believe in Game 6. Game 6. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. With Connor McDavid, the best player on the planet, the man that are now calling the best player since Wayne Gretzky, at least the most talented, put the game away. Naturally, it had to be McJesus. Oh my. But that wasn't all in the Western Conference, because the other game in the Western Conference second round went to 6 games. Also went down to the wire, and then Darren Helm with one of the most gorgeous slap shots I have ever seen in my life. I do not know how it was disgusting. All right, that shout to Darren Helm, because that was disgusting. Even Red Wings fans were whimpering because that was beautiful. All right, that was beautiful. It was off the wall, it was disgusting. All right, go back and watch that goal. But that means the Avalanche advance. That means the Edmonton Oilers advance to the Western Conference Final, which sets up a matchup between very, very, very much so, arguably, widely believed at the least, the two best players on God's green earth, skating around with a stick and knocking a puck around. And that, of course, is Connor McJesus and Nathan McKinnon. Nate the Great versus McJesus. It doesn't get much better than that. McKinnon versus McDavid. The Mac versus the Mick. It's you can't write it. All right, the NHL literally cannot write it. The Oilers are finally playing meaningful hockey. The Avalanche, like I said, possibly breaking through. I'm going to watch the series. I am going to watch the series. And you should watch this. If you're not a hockey fan, this is a series I advise. Because even outside McDavid being quite possibly, and I said this to a friend, the best player in his respective sport compared to any other best player in their respective sport, he might be purely the best in terms of skill level and talent. Besides McDavid, you also got Leon Draisaitl, another one of the best players in the world. Cale Makar, another one of the best players in the world. It's just, these teams are loaded with talent, and of course you have McKinnon and McDavid, who are just all-time greats. God willing, McDavid already. McKinnon, very, very likely. All-time great players. Two of the best players arguably of this generation. Arguably the two best. Not arguably two of the best. They are two of the best. But arguably the two best. It doesn't get much better than this. Should be an electrifying matchup, and I'm very much so looking forward to it. McKinnon versus McDavid. You gotta love it. The New York Rangers, in Game 6, pushed to Game 7. They murked Carolina. All right, I'm not gonna say and lie to you. They murked us 5-2, I believe. Shesterkin had 43 saves, and 5-2. He had 37 saves, and he had 2 assists. As the goalie, had 2 assists. Chatil had 2 goals, and the Carolina Hurricanes continue to be the absolute worst team. We cannot play on the road. We just can't. All right, I'm not gonna lie, we just can't. I don't know what it is, but the team cannot play on the road. It is what it is. We took another L. Hopefully here in Game 7 back in Raleigh, we can get it done tomorrow. A couple hours after this is probably uploaded. Hopefully, praying, please. We need this. All right, we need this. All right, we need this. But the Rangers are putting it on. And of course, awaiting whoever wins Game 7 tomorrow is the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm not going to talk about Game 4. They swept the Florida Panthers. It wasn't a contest. I said it last week. I said it the week before. They've been here and they've done that, and that makes them very, very dangerous. And they should be the favorite. Regardless of who wins tomorrow versus New York or Carolina, they should be the favorite to head to the Stanley Cup final because, they're firing on all cylinders. They've had a long break to heal up, to rest. Could make them cold, but, rest in the playoffs is invaluable. So, we'll see what happens, but, should be a very, very interesting Game 7. Please, hockey gods, let the Hurricanes beat the Rangers, or my dad will have a field day. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that now brings us all the way to the NBA. The Golden State Warriors are back like they never left. All right, we had a 2-year breather, but the dynasty is back. All right, they're back. As expected, and I think I predicted this, by the way. In 5 games, they beat the Mavericks. Steph wins the Magic Johnson. Oh, listen, I'm still a little iffy on the conference finals awards or whatever. It is what it is, but I guess he wins the Magic Johnson award. Shout out to Steph. Even though Clay showed up as Game 6 Clay in Game 5 and closed him out, I think he had 32. Now listen, Luka Doncic is a monster. He is a monster, but he cannot do it alone. Cannot do it alone. And now Brunson is a nice piece, and Whitty's a nice piece, but Lord, do they need a big man. They need a big man. Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Ayton, listen, doesn't matter. Give this man some help. All right? Get this man some health. He was immense in this series, but it was not enough as expected. Like I said, Steph, Clay, Dre, The core is there, and as long as they're there, and as long as they're still playing at the level they're playing on, the Warriors will always be championship contenders. And I gotta give a shout out to them as an organization. Once again, the scouting department showed up. Jordan Poole, you drafted Kuminga, you drafted Moody. It's just, continued. You kept developing Kevin Looney, who showed up big time in this series. Had a couple career games against the Mavericks. Took advantage of the opportunity of having that weak, front court that the Mavericks have. So, yeah, they're the best, the absolute best well-run organization in the NBA. Hands down. Hands down are the Warriors. They're headed back to the finals. The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Fresh off of Jimmy Butler's historic Game 6, where he dropped 47 points. Watched that one live with my friends. He just could not be stopped. It was one of those games. Jimmy has these games where he's on the most dangerous list of most dangerous people in the world that I have. He's in that graphic. Because in the playoffs, he's just a different breed. He's a different breed. When Jimmy Butler is on in the playoffs, he's a top player in the world. I'm not going to say he's the top, but he's one of the top 5, right? It's indisputable. When he's on in the playoffs, he's unstoppable. When he's off, he's in prison. However, here in Game 7, and like I said, we're getting a live reaction here to Game 7 as it's going on right now. Into the third quarter here, last minute, Jimmy Buckets has arrived. 29 points, but however, that's not enough. That's not enough so far. The Celtics are leading 82-75 heading into the fourth quarter. So, of course, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the Celtics, I'm not saying they're going to win this game. The Heat I thought the Heat were going to win this game. Being completely honest, I thought the Heat were going to win Game 7. They still may. So I'm going to have to preview both games, Warriors Celtics and Warriors Heat, in case whoever wins. Because it's still too close, and it's not like a definitive winner. Celtics, I think, are a better matchup. Not for the Warriors, but I think are better in terms of matching up versus the Warriors, just because they have Tatum and Brown and the wing issues that could potentially cause for the Warriors, and also having a Marcus Smart to deal with the guard play. I think it would make for a very, very intriguing series. Very, very interesting. Al Horford versus Kevin Looney. It's just they match up very, very well, and they have the star power to compete with the Warriors' star power. However, the Heat, I have to give them credit. They're dogs. The Heat are a bunch of dogs. Jimmy is a dog. However, it seems to go when Jimmy plays well, then the Heat win. If Jimmy does not play well, then the Heat are going to lose. And while the Warriors aren't as good defensively as the Celtics, living and dying with Jimmy Butler, while he's a beast in the playoffs, like I said, is not exactly a championship formula. But if they can get some of those other pieces, if Bam Adebayo can play like Bam Adebayo, good Lord. If they can finally get some shooting again, Max Strus, he kind of came alive a little bit more in Game 6. I'm not quite sure how he's doing here in Game 7. Of course, I can check that. He's 1 for 5. So if Max Strus can find his shot again, or if they can get Duncan Robinson back on the floor, and he can start making threes, and they can start shooting to combat with the three-point barrage that the Warriors, we all know, are capable of, then that makes that a little bit more interesting of series. But right now, as of now, I would say the Celtics match up better. And I feel like that series being a little bit more even. While if the Heat win, I'm going to say the Warriors are going to win the championship, and that's going to be the 4th ring for Steph. Relax on that. However, I saw people saying if the Warriors win, how far does that put Curry? Listen, no. Braun is chasing Ghost. Curry's still trying to become the best point guard of all time. Okay? Not even close. It's not even close. And that's not to say Steph is an amazing player, but LeBron is quite possibly the greatest player ever. So there's levels to this. Hell of a career though. Again, Steph, I think he's going to retire as the greatest point guard of all time. I think I've said that before on the 815 Exchange, but relax on that. But Heat win. I got the Warriors. Celtics win. I don't know. But we'll see. You guys can let me know how Game 7 ends. Of course, it'll probably end while I'm editing this episode. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the Roundup. And of course, It was the biggest day in racing today. So it's a racing themed roundup, all right? It's an all racing themed roundup. Though I have to give a shout out to Boston College in Charlotte North, the GOAT, in women's lax, because they're a problem. Of course, the WNBA, of course, going underway. Liz Cambage might be in some, however, and we're gonna leave that where that is and what that situation develops into. And we need to speak on it. We'll speak on it. Pre-Classic was also this week. Bromell won the 100. What else? Bromell won the 100. That's all I can think of for right now. Kauser, I think, won. Ryan won the shot put or discus. I forgot. Michael Norman won the 400. There we go. Mike won the 400. Also set the Hayward Field record. So, yeah, Mike back in form. And, of course, we got the NCAA Championships coming up very, very soon. So, we'll talk about that when that happens. But, yeah, Pre-Classic, shout out to you. But let's talk about the biggest day in racing of the year. Starting off with Monaco. The Monaco Grand Prix, of course, was today. Charles Leclerc. Would he finally be able to win at home when Max continued his dominance? Well, it was a different type of day for Red Bull and for Ferrari as Checo Perez, baby. Chico! Mexico. Stand up. Sergio Perez wins Monaco. Carlos Sainz finishes second, and Max Verstappen rounds up the podium with Charles finished fourth. So both of the team leaders finished 3/4, while their teammates were finished first and second. So kind of funny how that played out. This also, like the Champions League, got delayed for rain. Well, Champions League wasn't because of rain, it was because the gates got flooded by fans or whatever. But, yeah, it was a rainy Monaco to start, but Checo, he could stand the rain. You know, Checo could stand the rain, and he wins Monaco. You gotta love it. Yeah, shout out to him. We love Checo here. Marcus Ericsson wins a chaotic and probably very stressful Indy 500 for Chip Ganassi. Scott Dixon, arguably the IndyCar GOAT, 6 championships. However, he's only won the Indy 500 one time, and if he hadn't crashed out, he probably would have won it a second time because he was dominating this race. I mean, dominating this race. And then he crashed. Just a series of unfortunate events. And I mean that because after Dixon crashed, Jimmy Johnson, who led a lap, congrats to Jimmy, who's racing for Chip Ganassi in this race, Jimmy Johnson, NASCAR legend, one of the NASCAR GOATs, he crashes. Just everything that could go wrong goes wrong for Chip Ganassi. However, Marcus Ericsson, I don't know what was in that car, but that car was a supercar by all means. It went to the front, and it did not let go. A red flag after Jimmy's crash could not stop it. He held on. Ericsson wins the Indy 500. Congrats to Chip Ganassi. Congrats to Ericsson. They get it done. And, of course, the finale is the race I ideally would have still been at. The reason why I'm filming this late, the Coke 600. However, of course, I'm here. Ross Chastain is dominating. Okay, since I left and since I last checked, Ross has been the boss. And of course, he's got 2 wins already this year. He's looking at a third. I'm trying to pull up. Yeah, Ross still leading here. Kyle Larson in second. Suarez also has a very, very fast car. But yeah, Ross looking very good. Larson up to second. Yeah. It's been a wild race. I'm not going to lie to you. And as they probably said on the broadcast, but of course I was there, so I'll say this. The tires are getting eaten up. This track is eating the tires alive. And it's because it starts off during the day when it's hot and the track just heats up and it just runs through the tires. And then the cars have to adjust to, when it's at night and the track gets cooler. So that's having its effect, and it had an effect on a lot of the leaders. Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace. I could go on and on. Kurt Busch, even though that was with the Ryan Blaney, how do you crash on restart? It is what it is. Just a series of unfortunate events for the leaders. However, Ross the boss, he's been bossing it. Tyler Reddick up there, he just took the lead literally as I'm speaking, and of course Suarez. So it could be a very, very thrilling ending here in Charlotte. But yeah, I had a good time. Unfortunately, things happen. But it's been a heck of a day for racing, as expected. It is the biggest day of racing of the year. Monaco, Indy, Charlotte doesn't get much But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is it. One of the shortest episodes I think I've ever had. But we hit everything we need to hit. And yeah, I guess you'll get this upload tomorrow. I need to go edit this so I can go sleep because I have to go back to the 336 tomorrow. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in Game 7. We'll see you in the Coke 600. But for now, Ocho, signing off.